Hello, THL, and welcome to Salty Saturday. Hope y'all had a great break from this wonderful, wonderful holiday, but it's time to get back into some Hearthstone action. Tonight, we have two wonderful matches for you. First to start on our ballot tonight is WhiteDelight from Hair Club taking on Sirlos from Patch's Payback. That is a wild match from the Green Conference. And then after them, we have AlwaysJustinTime from Foolish Madmen taking on BlueJay from Stubbs of Prey. And that's a Legacy Gold Conference match. I'm your host, BrushyTuna. And tonight, for once, and all to our delight, we do not have Donde. We've replaced him with someone better this week. Help me introduce tonight, Markshire. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Brushy. I'm doing well. I'm excited to be back in the casting booth, replacing Donde, as you mentioned, and excited for both of these matches. Starting off with a wild match, it's going to be interesting. I personally don't play wild, but I have been playing Hearthstone since release, so I'm at least going to be familiar with all the cards there. And Brushy did help walk me through some of the decks at the beginning, so I'll do what I can to help provide information, ask important questions about these lists. But it looks like some pretty spicy decks to start off with, so should be a fun one.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm about to slap on the deck list here onto our
Mm,
Twitch stream here.
excellent.
So we do have some bans in already. WhiteDelight's Paladin is gone, and Sirlos's Priest is gone as well. So for Sir Los, that leaves his Bomb Galakron Warrior, his Highlander Warlock, and his Highlander Even Hunter taking on WhiteDelight's Big Shaman, Darkest Hour Warlock, and Big Priest, but not like Resurrection Priest. I'm talking, we're going straight to 4 mana, and we're casting just big dumb idiots for the rest of the game. We really only have 2 spells in the entire deck, and that's Zarek's Cloning Gallery and Awaken the Makers. So, anything that really pops out to you, Markshire, that you seem intrigued by?
Yeah, let's. I mean, we can talk about this priest list for a little. Like I said, I know Big Priest is an established archetype, but I don't think I've quite seen a list like this. We've got 2 1 mana cards, 3 4 mana cards, and then 3 5 mana cards, and everything else in the deck is 6 mana or more. We've got a lot of 8, 9 plus. So this deck is not going to be doing a lot until 6 mana, it looks like. So I feel like that's something that's gonna struggle against some of the more aggressive decks,
Yeah.
such as the Warrior from Sirlos. But if you look at the other decks that Sirlos has, or I mean, probably the Hunter. The Hunter is pretty aggressive too. So
Yeah.
if
I mean,
anything, I would say, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how that priest is going to find a win if it does. But I mean, if it gets up there, if it gets to 6 7 mana with a healthy life total, you are just slamming bombs down one after another.
yeah, it's probably gonna have to find the win against the Warlock. I mean, 1 mana
Mm,
deal 2 starting from turn 1 against that Hunter. I
yeah.
mean, sure you have 2 mana heal 2, but they got some aggressive creatures to back it up here with the the Fell Maw, the Face Stalker to pull a lot of these secrets out. They're just gonna steal that aggressive early game tempo, and then they have Call of the Wild, Dino Tamer Brand, the Grand Slam, and Zul'jin. They close the door if the game does go into those later turns that that priest wants. So I think WhiteDelight is really gonna have to either hope Sirlos stumbles under the Warrior or the Hunter, or he really has to line into this Warlock and beat it. But the Warlock does have some nice cards into dealing with a lot of his answers with like the Twisting Nether, the Norm-Feratu, Ticketus, and stuff, just to out tempo and eliminate some of these big threats before they ever hit the board. So
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that's interesting, just thinking about the wild format is how many just kind of like different archetypes some of these decks combine. We take a look at this Galakron warrior. It's got, Kronk's Galakron, multiple Galakron activators, but it's also running the bomb package with wrench calibers and clockwork goblins. We've also got some nice pirate synergy with patches, South Sea Deckhand, Sky Raider. Another one of these decks, Hunter, it's both an even deck and a Highlander deck. And as the wild format has kind of evolved over the past couple of years, we're kind of reaching that point where there's just a critical mass of cards that synergize with something such as, being Highlander, being even, a particular tribe. And that's why you can see these decks that, it's like in having a deck like the Hunter one where like you have the deck building restriction of Highlander and also the one where you can only run even cards. It's something that I think at the start of the format, people wouldn't be able to say that's something that could work out. But I mean, just there's so much power in all of the cards in this deck. So that's one in particular that I'm looking forward to seeing.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, this whole archetype came around because of a quote unquote nerf to Brand and
Yeah.
Standard. And here we go. We opened up a whole new archetype here. And, well, I mean, Highlander's always been a thing, but Highlander even is a brand new thing, really, to Hunter here in Wild. So, one thing happens in Standard, and that just opens up so many doors in Wild. I mean, even Odd Demon Hunter got a resurgence with the Voracious Reader nerf to 3 mana. So they got free draw
Hmm.
back in their deck since Skull moved from 5 to 6. So a lot of these old archetypes or new archetypes come up when things get nerfed, buff, or whatnot. And I love to see it in the wild game. Get the meta mixed up a little bit. But
Exactly.
I believe we are all set to go. The players are challenged up. Um, all challenged up. I've given them the green light, so we'll see what happens in the next couple minutes and how fast they get into it. But for the viewers at home, Sir Los will be on the bottom of your screen, so that's our first spectate here in the caster's booth, and WhiteDelight will be on top. Now, Markshire, if you had to guess beginning decks for each of them, just out of the blue, what do you think each
Hmm.
player is going to bring?
Yeah, that's interesting. I definitely don't have a lot to go off of. I would say that we might see White Delight lead with the Priest, just with kind of a cursory glance at these decks. I would say that it's the weak point of the lineup, so he may try to lead that first, hope to catch that Warlock from Sirlos' side and get a win there, because if the Warlock sneaks through against one of his other decks, I think that Priest is really going to struggle to find a win. And then from Sirlos' side, we'll see. Maybe he leads with that warrior. Just seems like a really strong overall aggressive deck that is going to do well against some of White Delight's slower lists.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the invoke here for this Galakron, deal 3 or give your hero +3 attack is just a nice little 3 damage every time you play something. And a lot of these invoke minions or invoke cards are pretty good. Awaken
Mm-hmm.
helps you clear boards against aggro decks and push damage. Devoted Maniac helps you clear the board and push damage. The Ritual Chopper just overall is just a 2 mana deal 4 the turn it comes down. So like
Exactly.
there's a lot of aggressive things, and it has a lot of comeback material too, with the Galakron and the Kronks at the top end. That if the game goes lightning, all right, I'm just draw 4 huge buff minions, and you got things like Korkron Elite in there that you just add to this huge burst potential. So I think that in the Hunter is going to be real hard for White Delight, just looking at these slower decks to get through. So he might have to 3-0 this Warlock in order to win this, but Wild is exactly
Yeah.
that. It is Wild, so anything can happen, and I'm excited to see. And I do have some eyeballs for these players, so let's jump into match number.
Yeah, they have already started off, and we've got Sirlos on his Warlock, White Delight on his Shaman. So we talked about this Warlock might be the deck that White Delight is looking to beat. So we'll see if it can get the job done here. Already, Sirlos has gotten the Sphere of Sapience down, so that's going to give him, a lot of control over what his next couple draws are. He's really going to be able to look for those key cards that are in this matchup. One of them here, Ticadus, coming up. I don't actually know if that's the correct
I think
pronunciation. He actually
Ticketus,
throws it
maybe.
back. Ticadus. No,
Yeah.
yeah, I think you're right. Ticadus chooses to throw it back and goes for the Sir Finley instead. I think an interesting decision, because I would imagine Ticadus could do a lot against a deck like the Shaman, but he wants the different hero power from Sir Finley.
Yeah, well, you gotta. This matchup relies on being able to answer whatever big idiot comes out on like turn 4, 5, or 6. Right? Like Ticketus is good for the later parts of this game, but like
Mm-hmm.
right now, Sirlos has nothing to answer if White Delight just want coin, Eureka or not Twilight's Call, and then just put like a 10-10 on the board. So
Yeah, definitely fair. Seeing the Serpent Shrine come out and getting a 3-mana 4/5 already, even though there's a slight downside with a Thrasher, with it damaging itself or damaging your hero when it attacks, that's a very strong roll, I think.
yeah, absolutely. But luckily for Sirlos, he does have this Fire Breather here to be able to come clean it up. Like he
Yeah,
wants to go
nice
for it.
clear from here. And I believe the only minions in his dead pool are Flame Imp and Zeph, right? So he
Yeah.
could have guaranteed another Zeph there with the raised dead, but he chose not to.
Yeah, I'm curious. I would have went for the Zeph just to ensure that you got it again. Because if this Fire Breather dies like it's about to now has a chance that you don't get your Zephyrus back. And Zephyrus is way more important in this matchup than a Flame Imp or another Fire Breather is, because a Fire Breather got lucky this one time, but if a Colossus of the Moon or Scrapyard Colossus or a Deathwing or something hits the table, that Fire Breather really doesn't do too much.
I would definitely agree with that. He goes for it now, and he whiffs, sorry, on the Zephyrus. Unfortunate.
Is the Lotheb just floating over Gul'dan for you?
It is. Yep. Yeah, I'm getting that bug. So hopefully when the Lothab
Oh, there we
die.
go.
Oh,
Okay.
it's back to normal now. Okay.
All right then.
That's good. Glad that wasn't a permanent spectator.
I would have left it if it just sat over Gul'dan and like when it attacked, it would just like go back to over his hero portrait. I don't think I would have respect for that. I think I would have let the viewers at home just quite enjoy themselves with a random Loatheb just sitting there.
Nice, nice. Now the Eureka top deck for WhiteDelight, I think is a very tempting option here. Of course, he's gonna opt for the Elemental Destruction instead. I guess he can get both of them out at the same time.
Yeah, we got the Lightning Blink
Very
and the
smart
coin, and probably second best or third best. Definitely wanted to hit this Yashiraj. That was the highest impact card to put on the board immediately.
That would have been optimal, but I mean, none of these options are bad. It's still going to be like any of these 10 drops. It's something that forces hard removal from your opponent, and Sirlos doesn't have a lot of answers in hand here. He can heal up a little bit with the heal bot, but he's going to have to find a way to answer this 7/7.
Yeah. This is why I was curious why he didn't go for the Raise Dead the turn before he did, just to ensure up that Zephyrs. Yeah. Because this Zephyrs could have easily been a Zeph Hex this turn, just to, try to keep these threats at bay. Because, I mean, after this turn, like, WhiteDelight's doing literally nothing next turn. He is overloaded for all of his mana. So, and then some. I think he's overloaded. Oh, no, he's overloaded for exactly 7, so...
Yeah, that's just gonna be a pass. But I mean, he doesn't really need to do anything when he's got the Scrapyard Colossus on board. Just hit face for 7 and pass the turn back, as we see him do right now.
Sirlos is gonna be able to Ancestral Call off the top.
Wow.
We can go Ancestral Call into Torrent or even Devolve.
This is interesting. Oh. Ticketus getting pulled. That is it's really unfortunate for Sirlos. If he'd pulled the Void Lord instead, could have been something else. I guess Devolve was still there though. So
Defile's a full clear with the Acid Maw.
Wow.
You punch a 5/5 in the Scrapyard and Defile, and I will clear the board.
That is crazy. I did not see him being able to get through this, but you're right, Defile is a full clear, and Sirlos is going to be able to heal up with Healbot if he chooses to. He might want to wait to combo it with Bran next turn, but yeah, wow.
Devolve feels so good sometimes because you get rid of your a demon so that way they don't get back on Gul'dan, but this Acid Maw here is just going to clean up the entire board. That's
crazy, and I was thinking Acid Maw was kind of a high roll for WhiteDelight, only being a 7 mana 4/2, but wow, that Defile.
Oh, and another Ancestral Call off the top. WhiteDelight is drawing hot.
All of the rolls. Pulls the Brand too. He could kill it off with the Torrent. He does. Yeah. Doesn't want any kind of Brand shenanigans, anything with Kazakus potentially getting picked up. And now Sirlos, he's just going to have to drop the Void Lord down, I think.
Yeah, we can kill the front half of this, drop Void Lord, and hope nothing else crazy comes down next turn.
It's interesting here because Sirlos is running very low on cards. He really needs to get some more value, but he can't really play Sir Finley at this point, I don't think. I think Life Tap is too valuable with what his hand currently looks like.
Luckily for Sirlos, as long as it doesn't pull another Scrapyard Colossus, he can just Twisting Nether this board away.
Yep.
Oh, that one's kind of scary to Twisting Nether away.
Yeah.
But he's already played. You've already seen the Deathwing, the other Deathwing. So I think that's the only other dragon in the list.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
If he's paying attention to what's been played, yeah, I believe that's correct.
Yeah.
And the Corrupting Mist being picked up here, I think we can see that WhiteDelight didn't have a good answer to Void Lord if Sirlos would have gone for the Corrupting Mist, but I kind of like just going for Nether here. You can't be certain what's in your opponent's board. If there is some sort of, the second Devolve or something, you just lose the game on the spot. So
yeah, exactly.
Makes sense.
Ensuring up that he will get the clear.
Ziliax, solid pickup too. It's been a while since I heard that battle cry. But nice to see. Ziliax was just always such a solid card.
Wait until it attacks. It'll probably send you way down the flashback train.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Oh, the devolve. That's exactly the card WhiteDelight needed, but
two
it's 2
taunts!
taunts. Oh my god. He won't be able to hit phase for 10. Wow.
Sirlos rolling it, and he gets to keep the tiny Fane and the Wisp on the board to clear off this Colossus in the Moon when it dies.
Oh my god, you're
Corrupting
right. Does WhiteDelight go for the portal here on one of the 1/1s to protect this
I think
hand
it's
of
more
his
fun
Colossus?
than hitting this portal or the
Oh my god.
He just scoops it up.
He's just concedes.
He just gives it up. Oh my goodness.
That is crazy. Wow. I did not when Sirlos had that early turn he didn't raise dead, then didn't have the answer for the Colossus. I thought the game might have been over yet, but no. Brings it back in a huge way. WhiteDelight just completely out of options there. Wow.
It just, I mean, that he thought he could get that. I mean, he did. He played it right. I mean, he went for that devolving lethal that turn. I mean,
yes,
he rolled 0 taunts, and Sirlos is just dead, but he just able to get 2 taunts across, and then the that Howl Fiend, I believe, is the name. Just any kind of like just punch into it twice, and boom, there goes the rest of WhiteDelight's hand. And I think Scrapyard Colossus was actually his last minion in the deck. So.
Yes, no, I think you're right.
Followed it.
And it's interesting to think about that too, because in standard, target dummy doesn't exist. So you play something like Devolving Missiles and get a 0 drop, it's always going to be a 1/1. But because this is wild, I believe it's a 1 in 3 chance. I think there are only 3 0 mana minions. I could be wrong. So I mean, that's just kind of a whole new thing that you have to think
Snow
about.
Flipper, Penguin, target dummy, the desk.
Oh yeah, Penguin.
There's I think there's 5.
So there's 4. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there might be 4 or 5. That's true. But still, I mean, it's more than there's a decent chance that you'll roll a taunt if you're devolving something into 0 mana.
Like 20%. We'll say 20%.
Yeah.
If someone in chat wants to do other math and actually remembers all the 0 cost cards, go ahead, be my guest. But
exactly. So game 2, Sirlos up 1-0, and he's got the Even Hunter going out. It is gonna make the lead just by playing these secrets out rather than get something on the board. I think it makes sense. I think he's waiting on maybe getting more value out of Garrison Commander or Glaive Zuka later in the game.
Well, and the cat trick is also pretty good against Warlock. Especially this Warlock, because they want to play some early game spells eventually, so you might be able to get that 4-2. The turn they combo is usually a 3-card combo over Fawn Scheme, Blood Bloom, and then Darkest Hour. So then you also get your Rat Trap that turn.
Okay, yeah, that's no, that makes sense actually. Yeah, I have not yet seen this Warlock deck in action, but it looks like
I had the Blood Bloom just to trigger the
interesting.
Cat. Oh, and Dragonbane off the top for 11 damage to face if Sirlos wants to unstealth this cat.
Wow. I mean, why not, right? You wait longer, you risk there being some sort of AoE that takes it out. Just, hit him in the face for 4.
Yeah, now if he goes for the Blood Bloom part of it, he might just die on the back swing. Luckily, he does have his Iliax to try to stave off a little bit of this.
Yep. Ziliax is not bad. We'll see where the Spell Maw goes, but even if it doesn't hit the Ziliax, okay, it did. But Sirlos has a lot of different options now with how he wants to roll this. Actually, wait, is this just lethal?
Yeah, with
Garrison Commander, Hero Power.
14. Yeah, it's just lethal.
Wow.
14 from the hero powers, and then the 3 from Dragonbane. Oh, wait. Oh, no, okay, you can do this.
Oh yeah, he can just garrison that. Yeah.
Afterwards. Yeah.
Oh my god, I did
I
not
wasn't
think
even
this game would
calculating
be
for
finished.
lethal yet. But here we are, turn 6, Dragonbane, Garrison Commander, go face.
The casual 14 from hand on turn 6.
It
Wow.
wasn't even one from hand, it was just on board. He just got to refresh his hero power
Or
and send some more damage.
oh man.
And this
Yeah,
is
that's
Markshire why I
fair
love
enough.
casting Wild. You know, I wish we had more
Yeah.
people that would come in and cast Wild, because it's just a crazy time, you know.
I mean, some of these things, like, you know, rolling 2 taunts in the first game, that's just like Hearthstone RNG. But things like the Garrison Commander combo there, like that's Wild specific. That's something that you can only see running in an even Hunter deck.
Embrace the chaos.
Wow. All right, Sirlos onto his final deck, and it looks like WhiteDelight's running back this Shaman here to hopefully maybe get a high roll early and just maybe Yashiraj on like turn 1 or turn 2 and just try to steal this game from Sirlos.
Yeah, he's already got the Lightning Bloom and 2 Eurekas. So he's well on his way. And I mean, when we look at this warrior deck, there's Lord Barov, but other than that, really no good ways to deal with, you know, one huge minion. So I think that's going to be WhiteDelight's path to victory here. Getting some of these Eurekas out, and gets them out early enough, I think Sirlos could struggle to maybe, you know, get through some taunts. And,
Absolutely, yeah. That's how this Shaman steals games. Is sometimes you just go, here's a 10-10 that pulled another 10-10. It's turn 3. Go ahead, you know.
Yeah. Exactly, but it's interesting, you know, looking at the bomb element of this. Sirlos already shuffling 1 in with the Clockwork Goblin. He can probably just wrench Caliber next turn, so bomb RNG really could do a lot in determining the outcome of this game, because the Shaman doesn't have. Well, actually, the Shaman has Healing Wave, but that's the only healing that I'm seeing in the deck.
Correct.
And Healing Wave's only a 2 of, so if he doesn't draw those, bombs can do a lot of work.
But here we go. 12-12 on turn 3.
Yeah. That's gonna be tough. No answer from Sirlos here, and I think he's just all in on the face game plan at this point.
Yeah, he's just gotta try to kill him.
Oh my god.
The Wind Fury off
the
the
Wind
top.
Fury. This is looking like another quick game.
Well, Sirlos does have the Ziliax to stop this for a turn.
Well, I mean, he can. Yeah, I guess if he Ziliaxes and doesn't attack,
correct,
then
yeah,
it technically isn't lethal next turn. Yeah.
You just play this here. Oh no, it's still lethal, right? You just punch with your face, punch with Deathwing, go kill him.
Oh right, no, it
has Wind Fury.
Yep.
I'm with you. I'm not used to seeing Wind Fury on this big old Deathwing.
Very not used to seeing it, but wow, yeah, we thought the last game was quick. That was turn 6 last game. This was a turn 5.
Yeah.
Win. So.
All right, there we go. WhiteDelight on the board. Not only trailing by 1 game, Sirlos up 2-1. Got to get wins with his Priest and his Warlock against this Bomb Galakron warrior here from Sirlos.
Yep. They are just immediately getting into it. I think both players just insta-clicked the Q button as soon as they came out of the game, because we're already next one. And Sirlos staying on his warrior, and WhiteDelight is going to go back to this Darkest Hour Warlock deck.
Yeah, it's probably has the best chance. The Priest definitely is. I think you hit the nail on the head earlier. I think it might just be too slow to try to get into this Bomb Warrior.
Yeah. We'll see if it can get to this point. Sirlos here, kind of a slow start. Is gonna get the Forge of Souls, which, let's see, besides Wrench, so Wrench Caliber and Ritual Chopper are the only weapons in the deck. So just drawing the 2 choppers there. Now he's at a point where I think, you know, he can get these weapon charges out, but having 3 weapons in hand, all with 2 charges, it's just kind of tough to do that unless like basically every single turn you're spending mana on your weapons. And of course you want all this damage to go face.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what I usually do when I have this kind of hand is I just override the second half of this ritual chopper and just put the wrench caliber
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Here, there's an interesting decision, though. Sirlos could go for the Maniac or the Chopper to get his Scion of Ruin procced. I'm not entirely sure how valuable that, it fully invoked Scion of Ruin is, or if he just wants to go for the Wrench.
I mean, seeing this Void Collar come down, it technically is not going to die on board if you just put the wrench caliber. I mean, it's not really going to die to anything on board. So you can kind of chill and relax for a little bit, but I do like getting this online for whatever gets pulled off that Void Collar that we can probably answer with the Scion.
Yep, makes sense. And I also like just going face rather than trading into it. Put it on your opponent. Yeah, put it on your opponent, try to kill it off. With what's on board right now, WhiteDelight can't kill it off. So it might be a turn or two before Enhanced Dreadlord can come down, or the other Void Caller. Right now, it looks like it's a 50-50 which one it'll pull. So
Correct.
Let's see.
Sometimes I forget Void Caller is another demon because my opponents always just pull the best demon out of their hand.
Yeah,
Like, you know.
Yeah.
It's never the dinky little demons that it pulls. It always goes, oh, you wanted the 9 mana one on turn 4? Yeah, I got you. Oh, okay.
Exactly. So I'm looking at this hand though. Dark Skies here. I believe this is a full clear.
It should full clear and pop the Void Caller.
Yeah. And the Dreadlord does get pulled. And so now this is an interesting position Sirlos is in. He could just equip Wrench, just hit into it. Scion of Ruin would at least clear the first body of the Dreadlord. I kind of like going with the Wrench Caliber here, though.
Yeah.
And just getting that hit in, get another bomb in the deck, and then maybe Scion of Ruin next turn to try to clear up the other body.
Yeah, absolutely. And plus, maybe this Town Crier plus the second half of the Wrench can clear off the first half of this Dreadlord as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then the Scion, I mean, he's going to heal for 10, but you can't leave him with just healing, being able to trade into your board nonstop.
Right, exactly. It's just it's unfortunate. You really don't want to give them that healing, but sooner or later they're gonna get it anyways. Yeah. The only way Sirlos currently has to deny healing would be Ziliax. It's not really something. The math doesn't really work out to do that next turn, but maybe somehow he leaves the 5/5 alone next turn. It only hits him once, and then he gets Ziliax next turn or the turn after. And with the Divine Shield, only give your opponent 5 healing. But either way, they're gonna heal somewhat.
Yeah, it's just gonna happen. Anytime you play against Warlock, there's always some sort of healing hidden somewhere in the deck, and most of the time it is this Enhanced Dreadlord. And I love when I see cards are good in both, or like semi good in Standard, also make good impacts in Wild, but not like to the point where like they're broken. They're like, oh yeah, this card's just so good, you just have to slam it. You have to play this. I like Enhanced Dreadlord,
Sure.
The fact that like it is just a solid overall card, but it's not like a card where you're like, oh, this is just some bullcrap.
Yeah, no, exactly. I would agree with that. And now it is the decision point. Sirlos doesn't know that this Void Caller right now won't kill anything. I think no matter what, he's not going to try to kill off 3/4 this turn. But Scion of Ruin would be a full clear on the 5/5 at least, and leave the Void Walker or the Void Caller, alive.
So if we don't want to swing the next bomb in our deck, we can Ritual Chopper this turn to clear off the front half. But I don't think that's worth it. I think just trading the Town Crier and your face into it is probably still the best play.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I mean, it doesn't really. Yeah, because they're gonna heal the same amount both ways, so I feel like you may as well just get the bomb in. it doesn't feel great giving your opponent this healing, but I think it's okay. Sirlos could also choose to not
Just
trade the
full trade.
3/2s in.
You could full trade the 3/2 then phase, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if he's waiting here, like WhiteDelight will guaranteed get this 5 healing by attacking this turn, but then next turn Sirlos can Zilliax it and hit into it. So I think that might be the line that he's looking at here.
And WhiteDelight does pick up another demon for
Wow.
this 4 color guys. Another enhanced Dreadlord, which is not fun to see. Oh, we're just gonna Dark Sour, get 2, and pull the Dreadlord. I like this play, actually.
Why not, right?
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna get 3 big minions on the board. Oh. Into the Colossus, and wow. I mean, I think that's just it. There's only 2 bombs in WhiteDelight's deck. Even if Sirlos were to maybe top deck Wrench next turn, I mean, there's just so much damage on the board here.
We got 25, and he's at 23.
Yeah.
So, that's just gonna do it. WhiteDelight's gonna take this game as long as he sends all these minions facing. I don't see why he wouldn't.
Wow. So another relatively quick game, and also, you know, WhiteDelight quickly coming back, was down 0-2, now has evened the series, so it's all gonna come down to this warrior against the priest.
Yeah, and this is the matchup that we've talked about in length, probably, is how is this priest gonna get through against this this aggressive deck? So
Yeah.
it really doesn't start until turn 4, so see what kind of aggressive hand that Sirlos can bring here to try to punish this slow priest.
It's gonna be interesting to see, yeah. Already we can see Sirlos keeping the rover. I think having a 1-drop early is pretty important. And he's got some strong cards here. I think Wrench Caliber is really valuable, just getting the 3 damage face.
Oh, but Sky Raider's a way better 1-drop.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Lucky Do Buccaneer. Oh, baby. I haven't seen this card in so long. This could actually trigger. This could actually be a 6-mana 9/9.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if we saw this game. We already see the Wrench Caliber in hand, so, and this priest deck does not run any hard removal, unless you want to count Shadow Reaper Anduin, which I would not, because it can't really deal with a 9/9 played on turn 6.
Well, the thing is, though, for Sirlos that he doesn't know is WhiteDelight has his dream turn 5 play of High Elvis Alora into the quest to trigger his loading gallery.
That's true. That's true, yeah.
So this could just be GG from turn 5. I mean, he hit exactly what he needed to hit to possibly have a chance in this matchup and to steal this away from Sirlos. And sometimes that's just Hearthstone. Hit what you need, and your opponent cries a little bit on the inside.
Yep. Sirlos here. So because he coined the Wrench, he's not really able to get this Lucky Do Buccaneer out anytime soon.
That's
so
fine.
yeah, I guess it's I guess that's probably fine. He can just go for Maniac possibly this turn, swing some more damage face. But yeah.
This is probably my least the favorite play. I mean, it does put a bomb in, but I think I would have played the Korkron here because you know WhiteDelight's not clearing it. But here we go.
Yeah.
Let's see what WhiteDelight hits off this Albus. Oh, we're gonna take a turn off. And just
he's gonna.
Zilliax. Okay.
That's interesting. I'm not sure if I agree with that. I mean, Zilliax is never that bad of a play on turn 5, but I feel like you want to get your huge swing turn down. You kind of want to do that as soon as possible.
I mean, WhiteDelight does have this deck fully golden, so he definitely has the reps in it that we do not. So maybe he, maybe he's seeing something or knows something that we don't know. Maybe,
No, that's
maybe he feels like he's not
that's a
under a
good
ton of
point.
pressure, that he can just take this turn off to do it next turn.
This has been kind of a slow match, and interesting. Waiting on it again, but I mean, Cartoon on 6, still pretty solid. Sirlos now though can get this 9-9 down.
Buccaneer, baby!
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I think that's just by far the best play. He's going to be able to clean up this Cartoon, will give his opponent 6 healing in the process, but still getting the 9-9 down has to feel good.
Just a free threat here from the Sky Raider early on that could possibly help Sirlos swing this game back into his favor. I mean, he doesn't know it that WhiteDelight's just sitting on this combo.
Right.
Still super curious on when he's gonna pull the trigger on it. Is there, if I look over the deck list, is there something that we're missing that he wouldn't fire it?
I'm looking. Yeah, I'm seeing if Cloning Gallery is in fact the only spell in the deck, and
outside
I
of the
mean it
quest,
is, unless I'm missing something. So yeah, it seems like it's the play. And I mean, the longer you wait, the more likely it is you can draw cards. So I would imagine he does go for that rather than just going for the Cartoon. But we'll see.
Maybe he's waiting to like maybe hit into Zoth or something before he does it. That seems greedy, but once again, maybe he might know something that we do not know.
Yeah.
So like, oh, I gotta wait to draw this card before I can go ahead and slam this massive combo here.
Yeah, he might be thinking about, what's a way that I can guarantee getting some of these cards like Scrapyard Colossus or Obsidian Statue, and maybe if he does, get one more draw like Nazoth, that would do it for him. Very possible.
But I mean, luckily for Sirlos,
a lot of damage coming in.
Yeah, but he got the 9-9 coming in.
And we've reached the point now where WhiteDelight could just die to bomb damage. There are 4 bombs in the deck, so that's a total of 20 damage if they were to all be drawn. So now that's just another factor in the game we have to think about. Of course, there are ways for WhiteDelight.
That's why. No, that's why he's not doing it. There's bombs in the deck. We're a bunch of idiots.
Oh my
Markshire. God. We're a bunch of idiots. There's bombs in the deck. That's why he's not doing it.
That makes so much sense. Okay, wow.
All right, let's see what he hits. Hits a bomb.
We were all like, what is he doing?
We're like, what is he waiting for? But
that's why. That's why.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess. So that's interesting. I will say, like, the longer you wait, the more likely it is your opponent will draw the other wrench and then put more bombs into the deck. I think what he was thinking is he thought that if he can just stall with Cartoon, he can get to a point where he gets to 8 or 9 mana. Maybe he can play something like Obsidian Statue naturally, and that'll be good enough to win him the game. That's going to heal him a lot, clear up the board. It seems like he was doing that rather than saying, I don't want to take this chance that, it's a 1 in 3, but if that 2 out of 3 happens, I basically just lose the game on the spot.
Yeah, that that makes sense. I mean, you and I were like, what's happening? Like, why is he just not slamming this? And that actually makes sense for Sirlos' turn 3 play of that Clockwork Goblin as well. Over like the Core Con. It was some simple sight into the match that you and I just completely forgot and missed. But
it seems like the players did know what they were doing after all.
I would hope so that both those players have definitely been playing. I feel pretty good in the Wild, but both those players have been playing Wild a lot longer than I have, so they definitely know what they're doing. Would you down for an interview with Sirlos? Get him in here?
Absolutely, yeah.
We got some time for our next match, since Wild does usually end a long before standard matches do on average.
Yeah, I did not expect that coming into this match, especially looking at how like high curve some of these decks were. But yeah, that was pretty quick.
That's just how WoW it is. Sometimes you just play some big idiots super early, and sometimes you 17 someone in one turn with Dragonbane. Sirlos, the winner of this match. How you doing, buds?
I'm doing fantastic.
I mean, I'll let you in on some insight here, Sirlos, because you won't see it for quite some time. Markshire and I were watching that last match, and we couldn't figure out why your opponent was not going for the Albus quest on turn 5, and it's because we forgot bombs or spells as well.
Guess what? I forgot as well until that last turn.
That does make me feel a little bit better.
Yeah. See, I was just complimenting you because on turn 4 you played Clockwork Goblin instead of like Korkron. And I was like, oh, because Sirlos knew, that he needs to shut off that combo. And now here you are. I gave you this praise, and now it's like, oh, he didn't even know.
Oh no,
he was shutting it off as well.
I'm an idiot. I totally forgot. I spaced. The reason I didn't want to do the cork run there was because charge. So I wanted to save it for later.
Well, I figured you could play that Korkron that turn because your opponent really doesn't have removal. It's just minions. So I figured that was just 4 damage that was just gonna stick for quite some time and just repeatedly punch your opponent over top.
Yeah, but I don't know. The way my hand was lining up, I needed kind of like one big burst turn.
Yeah.
And the clockwork getting in play first just kind of helps maintain the board, I guess. I don't know. It worked out.
It did. It definitely did work out. Yeah. I mean,
let's restart. I knew that's what it was gonna do.
Smart man, Sirlos. But going up 2-0 and then WhiteDelight coming back 2-2.
Oh, I knew.
You knew you had it with that warrior there into that priest. No, you never scared, or
I
knew that was gonna happen.
I knew it was gonna go to game 5. My biggest worry was the warrior against the big decks. Like a shaman and the warlock. So I figured I just had to. He had to like low roll, and he didn't. So I was like, oh, line it up against the priest and see what happens. And we got there.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, they can just combo off with both those decks so early, and they're sitting with a 10-10 and 12-12s. They're like, in the warlock, they're sitting with like 40 power worth of stats on the board on like sometimes turn 6. And you're looking at your 2-2s and a bunch of like 1-1s and 1-2s, and you're like, well, I guess GG's in order. Like, see you next game.
Very much so. All kind of lined up the way I wanted it to. The hunter on the warlock and the warlock on the shaman.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
those were kind of the matchups I wanted, and it lined up that way.
Yeah, you with your Spirit Sapiens there in the early game of that Warlock versus Shaman matchup, you were pitching a lot of good cards, but you were doing it right. But
screwed up with my Zephyrus.
Yes, you did. I was about to ask you that. I'd be like, why didn't you raise that a turn earlier?
I don't know if you saw me hover it. I was gonna do it, and then I was like, I don't know. There's no way he removes the other minion. I don't know. It was.
You got greedy.
I gambled, and then it didn't pay off, but I didn't. Luckily, I won without needing Zephyrus.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
You can't get greedy with your raised deads. You gotta, if you can ensure you're hitting Zephyrus, you gotta snap that raised dead to get your Zephyrus back, because Sirlos, your and my RNG luck is both garbage. So we cannot leave that up to letting RNG give us Zephyrus with 3 minions in the pool, because
luckily the deck is good enough to win.
You're welcome for that list, buddy.
Yeah.
You're welcome for 2 of your lists.
I appreciate it.
For those who don't know, Sirlos and I are on the same WoW team, Patches Payback, and he just texted me or texted the group chat at like 10 p.m. one night. He's like, "What list am I running?" And I was like, "Here you go." And then he submitted immediately. So.
Oh yeah, it worked out.
You're a wild card, man. I would never submit that fast. I would have at least like tested something first, and you're just like, "Nah, this is it. These are my lists."
I submitted the list and test afterwards.
Shoot first, ask questions later. I like it.
that hunter list. Oh my goodness.
That was
I
that was a
That
disgusting turn 6.
I didn't mean to
man,
slow roll
yeah.
it either. I was just counting math, and I kept forgetting the hero power does 2 damage too. I was like, man, I'm short. Then I just like, let me just do it one at a time and see how it goes. And I was like, oh, I got it. Cool.
It took us a minute too. I think for the first, like 10, 20 seconds of that turn, we were just kind of like discussing the matchup, some options, and then we realized, oh, this is just lethal. You just have 14 burst.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's that damage just came out of nowhere. But wow, that I mean just really shows what a powerful deck is. I don't know much about the wild meta, but I mean any deck that can just deal 14 from hand like that, and now can run Bran, I feel like has to have its place.
Yes.
And
It has been surprisingly great.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, him and I were talking about it the other day, and like we were looking at the list, and the list like overall like looks awkward. Like if you looked at those 30 cards, you're like, these are just a pile of hunter cards. Yeah, like yeah, they do things, and then you get to play in the deck, and you're like,
The
wow.
original list looked like a pile of
Listen,
just
it
100
still looks
cards.
like you switched 2 cards. It
I
still looks like
switched
the
2
same
cards,
pile.
and it still looks like a pile of 100 cards, but they fit better. And I'm the resident hunter on the team, so
Uh huh.
I think I would know.
Yeah. All right, I'll give you that title. Have that one. All right, Markshire, you have anything for Sirlos before we cut him loose and let him have the rest of his evening?
Do not. Just
Or
want to say, this was my first time ever casting Wild, but this was a great set of games to cast. Did not expect that the games would be so quick and so exciting, but it was a lot of fun. And congrats on the win.
all right, Sirlos. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for letting us stream your match here for the first Salty Saturday back after the holiday. I hope you had a great one. I hope you have a great night as well. All right, Sirlos.
He may be muted or something or stepped
Maybe.
away. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Okay.
stepped away, I guess. But anyways, let's hop into our next match here. It's a legacy match of AlwaysJustinTime versus from, man, I just blanked on the team name, from Foolish Madmen, taking on BlueJay from STUBBS of Prey. AlwaysJustinTime on Paladin, Rogue, Shaman, Warrior, taking on BlueJay's Demon Hunter, Pally, Rogue, and Shaman. Markshire, what do you think about this matchup now that you're a little more knowledgeable into this field compared to the last
Slightly,
one?
slightly more knowledgeable. Yeah. So Blue Jay is. I don't know if we. I want to say there was a Blue Jay. No. Like that name sounds so familiar, but I don't know if they've played in THL before. So I think as far as I know, at least, Blue Jay is an unknown. Always Just in Time, though, has had a lot of success in TESPA.
Mhm.
It was his first THL season last season, and he ended up doing extremely well. I mean, we can see is already at 550 PR after one season. So, based on that alone, I would say that Justin has the favorite here. And then also, looking at the specific matchups, we've got Justin on Paladin, Rogue, Shaman, and Warrior. Blue Jay on Demon Hunter, Paladin, Rogue, and Shaman. Um, these lineups are only off by one. We've got Justin on Warrior versus Blue Jay on Demon Hunter. But just based on that, I would say the Demon Hunter, it got hit pretty hard from the recent nerfs, and really the only viable list that we're seeing now is the Lifesteal Demon Hunter. And that's a deck that a lot of pros have said it's very strong. A lot of THL players are still bringing it, but it does not look that good when you look at the stats. And I'm not sure it's got that great of a matchup against some of these popular decks. Justin here, when you look at his classes, I think it's pretty likely to assume, he's going to have Secret or Whirl Kick Rogue, probably
Mhm.
Evolve Shaman, probably Broom Paladin. Warrior could maybe be a couple different things, but I feel like that Demon Hunter might struggle a little bit, but I definitely could be proven wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have this weird like love-hate relationship with Warrior right now in this meta,
Mm.
where I love that like Warrior can be like 6 different things, right? But like I hate that like the core of like all 6 different things are like the same like 15 cards though. It's not
It's
like they're
yeah.
completely different. The turns 1 through 8 are like the same cards, and then like after turn 8, it's like, all right, what am I playing here? So I think that really the only
Yeah.
warrior that really
Yeah.
switches it up is Bomb Warrior. That's because they play a Wrench Caliber on 4 compared to every other warrior out there.
That's true. Warrior's interesting because I feel like for most of Hearthstone's existence, or most of THL's existence, Warrior has been one of those classes where it's usually a decent pick every week, and it's got like at least 2 or 3 viable decks. I mean, you look at it now, you've got Bomb and Rage, the Ash Tongue OTK, the ETC Warrior. Um,
Mhm.
now we're even seeing like Galakron Warrior, but I feel like that's been pretty consistent. Like Warrior always has multiple viable archetypes and is
Yeah.
just a solid bring in THL. Um, but I definitely agree with what you're saying that it does kind of just feel the same to play against, even though there are some different archetypes. Like a lot of them run Risky Skipper, and getting Risky Skipper Armor Smiths just feels the same every time, and it doesn't feel great.
Yeah, it really doesn't. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna play an aggressive deck and beat the control warrior, and then they're like, cool, Risky Skipper, Armor Smith, Bloodsworn Mercenary, Bloodsworn Mercenary,
Very,
and they just gain like 40 armor in one turn. You're like, oh, oh yeah,
yeah.
that's a thing. I forgot. you know,
Yep.
but no, but you did hit the nail on the head. I
Yeah.
mean, I've been in THL for almost exactly 2 years now, and Warrior has been
Mm.
viable in some sort of aspect for at least those 2 years. I mean, even just playing Hearthstone before that, it's just yeah, it's always had something viable for a very long time, whether it was just like that old aggro pirate warrior or just some sort of
Mm.
just pure control, because those classic cards in Warrior of like the brawls and the shield slams and stuff like that are just natural control cards at its heart. So there's always that control
Yeah.
aspect feeling that you can always fall back to on the Warrior. But
No, exactly. Like, I mean, just the fact, like, their hero power, like having armor up, having
yep,
all these like efficient cards like Brawl, Shield Slam, Shield Block, it just makes for like an overall solid defensive package. So Control Warrior is viable in just most metas in Hearthstone's existence. So usually they at least have that, and then just some other archetype thrown in depending on what cards came out in that expansion, or just something with Risky Skipper for the past couple expansions.
yep. All right, it looks like they are challenged up. We got bans in.
Awesome.
Always Justin Time's Pally is gone, and
Hmm.
all BlueJay's Shaman is gone. One of those, I definitely saw the Shaman, like at least one Shaman ban coming in. That class is
Yeah.
just so interesting to play against. It's like yeah, sure, I have a good matchup into this class, but sometimes Shaman does what Shaman wants to like do, and it just high rolls its way into victory, kind of like what we just saw there in Wild, where you just sometimes, I mean, they play a 12-12 on
Yeah.
turn 4, but sometimes the Shaman just evolves 3 to 4 3 drops into just these average, like pretty good average 4 drop minions, and just win the game on turn 5 or 6. So it's such a hard class and such a hard deck to like leave up sometimes, because it's like yeah, I have an 80% win rate. It's like saying if you do, and then they just they hit that 20% high roll, and you're like, oh yeah, like we'll
No,
go to the
it's
next game.
just yeah, Shaman's one of those decks where like, just because of the randomness that comes with evolves, it has a chance in kind of every matchup, but it's also just really good overall. And I think it's kind of to the point where, if you look at this in a conquest lineup, you're probably either banning it or you're trying to target it. Otherwise, you're just accepting the fact that it's going to get a win because it has so few bad matchups at the moment. So BlueJay, or sorry, I guess Justin, just saying, I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to worry about trying to bring decks that are good against it, trying to run Sticky Finger in my decks. I'm just gonna ban out the Shaman immediately. Um, but BlueJay, on the other hand, going for the Paladin ban, maybe that means he is trying to beat Shaman harder. Maybe we're gonna see some Sticky Finger tech, some Ooze tech. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, it looks like players are in the game. They've sent BlueJay just turn on to spectate. I hope you do that now.
Yes.
Alright, so BlueJay will be on the bottom for the viewers at home, first spectate for us here in the booth, and always just in time will be on your top. It looks like we have Rogue v Rogue to start off here, and it looks like so far we got Secret Rogue for always just in time and World Kick. It looks like if we have to message BlueJay, he's having some weird chat issues.
Okay. Yeah, we can't see BlueJay's hand yet. Okay, I can now also.
Okay.
So good timing. But yeah, so Rogue Mirror here, Secret Rogue against the World Kick Rogue. I actually haven't seen the specific stat. I believe that the Secret Rogue is favored in this matchup. But I would have to look at the stats to confirm. And BlueJay here, oh wait, BlueJay is running Potion of Illusion naturally in his deck. That's very interesting. Okay, just realized that. So I wonder what other stuff we'll see. Potion of Illusion is just, I think, a very strong card in the deck. When I see it offered off One Thief, unless I'm really far behind, I'm gonna want to take that a lot because you can get so many minions on the board, just a bunch of really small minions with this rogue deck. So you can get a lot of value out of potions. So I'm sure that'll come into play later here.
I think it's also for the warrior matchup as well, being able to copy like multiple World Kicks and having just a constant value generation train going. You know, because you want to play one, get some value out of it, maybe potion it, so now you can set up for next turn. Now you have a 1 mana World Kick, and then you just start comboing off again and again and again. So I can definitely see the thought process behind bringing Potion of Illusion into this.
Yeah, no, makes a lot of sense when you think about that matchup. And we very well may see the this rogue going up against the warrior. But a strong Edwin turn from Justin here. With all the tools at Rogue's disposal, a lot of time you can get much bigger Edwins, but I really like just saying, yes, I'm just going to deal with the World Kick, get this 6/6 down on turn 4. And now BlueJay's going to have to invest a lot of resources in killing it. The Abyss, the Plunder, and he doesn't even get a proc off of this One Thief.
Yeah, I mean, luckily for BlueJay, he did have the answer for that Edwin, because even just a few hits from that Edwin can be devastating in the matchup. Because there's a Vis. Well, I guess BlueJay doesn't know. We don't know as well if there's a Vis in Just in Time's list, because I know some Secret Rogues cut it, but as of right now, BlueJay doesn't know if he's facing World Kick or Secret yet.
That's true, yeah. Justin hasn't played this in R yet, definitely doesn't have to, and he can just sit back and try to build up his board, and eventually I'm sure he will draw into a secret. He's got an interesting decision here with the Wand Thief. I would definitely go with the Evocation. In fact, actually looking at the other options, Evocation was probably the clear pick, but Evocation can do so much, especially in these later turns once you've gotten up to, 8, 9, 10 mana.
Yeah, Evocation is just always, even at 2 mana, maybe it doesn't see as much play in Mage, but it's such a great value train for the Rogue, because they like to dump their hands as fast as possible. This Evocation usually is giving them 6 to sometimes 10 cards in hand. So.
Yeah, exactly. And Justin here, he does have the ambush now, so I think he's going to go off on the Hanar here, and then he has some interesting decisions here with Shadow Step too as well. But for the time being, yeah, I like going with the Never Surrender. Just get another cheap secret down, and see what you get.
Plagiarize? Maybe the
I
Flame
like
Warrior?
Plagiarize a lot. I think so. Open the
It's definitely not
cages.
Open the Cages, right?
It's at this point, no. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the card in Hunter in general. But in this rogue matchup, when you're fighting so hard for tempo each turn, it's not going to be great. I like the Plagiarize a lot.
Yeah, I mean, both. It's Plagiarize so good into the Rogue Mirror because, like I said earlier, they just like to dump their hands, and sometimes you just snipe that turn where they go secret like this, like Secret Passage into card, and you just have a ton of gas rebuilt out of nowhere.
Exactly. Ooh, now picking up the Whirl Kick, and now BlueJay has this decision here. Sorry, does he Whirl Kick, try to go for Plunderer and just try to get a bunch of combo procs, or just go Whirl Kick Edwin, get a 6/6 down?
I think after seeing the ambush, we no longer.
Yes. Yeah, that's with that proc, makes a lot of sense to go for this instead. Ooh, getting, there are a lot of combo cards that are 2 or less mana that he could have gotten, but instead getting Shadow Sculptor, that's not really what he needs now.
I hate getting that one. Whenever I get that off my roll kick, I'm like, why am I playing this deck? Like, this is so stupid. It's just so bad. It only ever draws you like 1 or 2 cards on average because it does cost that 5 mana. It's just like,
it's just so expensive, yeah.
But it makes sense because if that card was like 2 or 3 mana, that card would be nuts. Like, don't worry, play 10 cards, draw 10.
I think that one's better than getting the 5 mana 2/5. That's like, it's a Death Rattle synergy thing because it's just always a 5 mana 2/5 because you don't run any Death Rattle.
Oh yeah. The
gain the Death Rattle, something in your deck. Yeah. Neither of them
are super broken, and because you just like buffed your entire hand by like 12 by like turn 8.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. Justin, so he went for the evocation, didn't really get much here, and I think Mirror Entity is the best option. It's that or Ice Barrier. I would probably lean on going the Entity here instead. I think it's more likely to give you some value. You don't really need the 8 armor right now, but it feels kind of bad to whiff on evocation like that. There's a lot of good cheap spells. There's a lot of things that can be value generating or be direct damage possibly. But just getting a bunch of freezes, it does happen sometimes when you play evocation, but not really what he was looking for.
Yeah, I mean, he hit double Frost Nova, double Secret, Grand Finale, just like some super expensive cards that he did not want to see.
Yeah.
At least he gets a 3/3 out of this Mirror Entity. Probably the best bang for his buck out of that evocation that he had.
It's honestly, aside from Edwin, one of the better Mirror Entities that you could get. Rogue has so many, 1/2s, 1/1s. It's kind of nice to actually get a 3/3 out of it.
Yeah, the only high roll is maybe to get Whirl Kick and somehow it survives, and then you become the
Whirl Kick
Rogue. But I doubt that's gonna happen.
No, probably not.
But it's a dream that we can all live.
True.
Crap gold.
Justin, wow, that's a nice pickup. I think it was between this and going just for another secret turn. But picking up the Wrapped Golem is really strong here. With your opponent only having a 3/3 on the board, it's gonna be tough for BlueJay to deal with it. I guess now he can use Coerce, but still, just forcing your opponent to have that hard removal is really nice.
Yeah, and it also just slows down any kind of face pressure for a while too. Popping out these little 1/1s after turn. But it looks like BlueJay does have the clear here with this Combustion and the Coerce.
Yeah. Almost wondering if you wanted to go for the Coerce, maybe like prep out the Coerce and then also go for a Shadow Sculptor just to get some cards. Because having 0 cards in hand with Shadow Sculptor and Potion of Illusion in hand feels pretty bad.
We got this. We're gonna both these cards live. We're gonna potion them. And then the following turn we're gonna pop off.
I see where you're going with it. Makes sense. Makes sense. We'll see if that can work out. But
Like a
right
little
now it
pause.
seems, yeah. I think Justin appears to have DC'd. So
Way to go, Justin.
we will.
Yeah, he just sent me a
We'll
message.
wait a minute. Okay, yeah. He's got he's got what is probably going to be a pretty long turn. Looks like he'll be looking to go for a Hanar play. So hopefully he can reconnect soon.
Yeah, he said he's gonna try to load on his phone here to get back into this game.
Mm.
I told him he could try on his computer first because he does have. I don't know if he's aware that he does have a couple minutes here to try to relog back in. He doesn't have to panic, jump on the phone. Because I know some people like Mike Lowe out there who mobile gamers, but I can't do it.
Mobile gamers.
Especially with decks like Rogue, when you're just like doing 800 like APMs like per. It's too much. It's too much to do on your phone. You need the mouse to be able to click everything.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan. Really, I mean, I almost never play on my phone now. I guess back in the day where I actually left the house, occasionally I'd play on my phone, like on the bus or something. But yeah, it's not quite the same. Especially like you said, you're playing these decks like Rogue. You have to do a lot of actions a turn. Feels pretty bad to lose a game just because you couldn't complete everything, couldn't drag your finger fast enough.
Yeah. Well, the worst part about playing on your phone is you have to like click your hand to like open your hand and then click and drag the cards out. So.
Yep. Yeah.
Also adds in a ton of extra clicks, and could you imagine doing this turn with all that? Like, oh no.
Yeah. So Justin is going for the Hanar turn. Picked Open the Cages, which is interesting. I don't actually remember what the other options were, but seems like one of the weaker options.
Mirror entity, and I forget what the Paladin secret was.
Okay, so I mean, this could be, yeah, it could be worth it. And then Shadow Clone. This is a card that I don't think I've played against yet. I believe it's from the new expansion.
Yep.
But after a minion attacks your hero, summon a copy of it with stealth. Doesn't seem super powerful, but I mean, if you get an Edwin, a questing down, and swing with it, and you get this could come in handy.
This guy's toast.
Yes, but luckily for BlueJay, he's able to answer the scenario, but triggers the ambush from JustinTime.
This guy's toast.
BlueJay is going to use the other SI rather than drawing cards. And
because we're doing the play I said. We're gonna potion.
That's
we're gonna potion.
That's true.
And then next turn we're gonna Shadow Sculptor. Come on, Markshire, you gotta be 4 steps ahead of the players. You gotta think of their plays for them.
Well, I mean, he was also playing around Open the Cages, so real heads up play there. Yeah.
Jandis.
Jandis is nice. I think Justin, he sees his opponent is at 16 health and doesn't have a lot of cards in hand. He's probably looking to end the game quickly. And Jandis with Shadow Step 2 is a really nice pickup.
But yeah, I'm 100% Shadow Step in this.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Do that. Plunder will help clear off a 3/3, and Justin will also swing with his dagger.
This screen's not a bad pickup. Some of these lackeys might be able to help us out this turn.
Yeah. We'll see. BlueJay correctly identifies which minion was set to only 1 health, is going to get that off, and is now going to go for the Sculptor. Only drawing 2 cards, but maybe he's hoping to play something that he picked up. But Foxy Fraud, it's really just a 3/2 in this situation, which is not bad, but yeah. It's pretty solid.
Here's a plagiarize.
The plagiarize.
Open the cages.
And the open the cages. Oh man. Oh.
But
Huffer
BlueJay
would have been lethal, right?
See, 9, 10.
With the SIs.
Oh, with the SIs they just picked up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huffer would have been, Leok would have been, I think, 1 off, but only rolling Misha. Justin's still in a solid spot here.
You know, he did get a 5-6 last time with his Jandis, so it makes sense that he gets a 3-3 and a 3-4 this time around.
A little more mid-size. It's okay. At least it's not. At least he didn't get the 1-1.
It's very true. Or the 0-3s or 0-5s
or the yeah. there are worse options. Here, Justin, I think so. It's interesting because now he's actually running into board space issues. And this is something I think that seems kind of new to this meta. Like I have been playing Rogue, and I like pretty consistently, not every game, but like fairly consistently run into issues where I have 6 or 7 minions on the board, and it actually prevents me from playing out additional things. Rogue just has so much value generation at this point.
But I really like that from like when Hearthstone has that back into its game plan. That just that nice, like, you have to be able to understand board control and board presence.
Oh yeah.
Board space issues.
No, it's just like another parameter, another thing that you have to keep in mind, which I think is great. But as for this game, Justin is going to take it with the concede from BlueJay. Really just no path to victory there, being so far behind on the board.
Yeah, that counterspell really put the nail in the coffin there. Wasn't able to clear that 5-6, and he knows Justin's sitting on another SI agent, and there's just no way he could have dealt with enough of the board after that to try to possibly have another turn.
Yep.
I'll put Justin up 1-0 here, folks.
Now, Justin, I think because he reconnected, we're gonna have to restart the spectate. I think he's coming online again now. Maybe be going on to his computer.
Yeah, I know it, like yeah, that's what he's doing. Yeah, when you DC in the middle of a friendly match, you it automatically like negates the challenge. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he said he's gonna do a quick restart on his computer, try to get that back up and running.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see, what do we got? So AlwaysJustinTime still has the Shaman and this Warrior. BlueJay still has Demon Hunter, Pally, and Rogue. If you're BlueJay, Markshire, what deck are you, or what class are you bringing to try to swing this back into a tied 1-1 match?
Yeah, so I mean, Justin's got the Shaman and the Warrior left, and I mean, we talked earlier about how strong Shaman is. It doesn't look like that Rogue from BlueJay was really teched to beat Shaman at all. It seems like, from the Potion of Illusion, it was more geared towards beating Warrior. So, I would imagine that he could go with the Rogue again, but maybe he might want to go for the Lifesteal DH and try to beat like a slower Warrior, because Lifesteal DH can have some really high damage output turns if it gets its combo right. So
yeah, like
I can see him going for that.
44 is what I saw Frozen do today.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
in one turn.
I saw that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wixel. I mean, Warrior can gain a lot of armor, but
it's not gaining 115 armor though by the time the Lifesteal DH is comboing off, because they just have so much draw in it that if the game's going that late where you're going that far or getting that much armor anyways, probably going to end to the time or the turn, whatever it's called, the turn timer, where it just automatically ends at turn 60.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, exactly. It would be likely, and so we do see BlueJay stay on the Rogue, and Justin is going to go with his Warrior. So right now, seeing the Mercenary and the Corsair cache, this technically could be an Enraged Warrior. I think it might be a little bit more likely it's some sort of slower, maybe an ETC OTK list.
I mean, you have no idea.
But
I mean, Bloodsworn's playing in the control too, so like you just we're just gonna sit here.
Yeah, like you were saying before the show, the same cards, 15, 20 cards are in almost every Warrior deck.
Okay, the Bulwark means it's not in Rage, at least.
Yeah.
Unless he's running a spicy bulwark tech range.
Right. I would. Yeah, I would imagine this is.
There we go. There's
Okay.
our answer.
Nice. It's ETC. Great. That clears that up.
Yep. Glad we got our answer pretty early in this game and not
Yeah.
20 turns down the road. Just like, man, I wonder what Justin's doing over there. But BlueJay's got to be able to identify and figure that out for himself as well. You know, because you don't want to have a wide board against ETC. So, but you want a wide board against like more of the control aspects. So that means you're just pushing some extra damage. So he needs to be able to help identify like what exactly is his game plan to victory here against a still unknown warrior deck.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm looking at the stats here. So it looks like this rogue is a slightly unfavored against the ETC warrior. But it's close, and techs that we saw like Potion of Illusion, I think could help get BlueJay over that edge. So I think we're looking at a relatively even matchup here.
Yeah, be able to get maybe some extra one thieves for some extra freezes or some extra burn over the top burn to maybe be able to close this game out before the combo is able to come down and eliminate BlueJay from this game.
Yeah.
This guy's toast.
BlueJay just gonna be able to clear up the 2/5 on board and get a 1 thief proc. And okay, Brain Freeze was not my immediate look. I think Yogbox, there was some potential there, because BlueJay doesn't really have like an early Edwin or early questing going, which often can just win the game on itself. But going for Brain Freeze instead, the warrior does run a lot of relatively small minions, so I mean I'm sure it'll come in handy this game too.
Okay, interesting. Close off on the Brain Freeze. I was thinking maybe we could see the Mummy into the Brain Freeze on the 2/3. Just to save the front half of our Mummy.
Yeah, I actually kind of like that. But looks like BlueJay will instead try to save the Brain Freeze, maybe combo with a Questing or Edwin later in the game, or just on a minion like an Armor Smith or a Skipper that is more important to remove.
But luckily for BlueJay, he does have this polymorph if Radagor ever does hit the board, which is very problematic for Rooks a lot of times. So he does have the answer to that threat eventually, but still gotta watch out for the ETC combo that he has no idea about.
Yeah, it's nice to have. It's interesting because the ETC warrior, most likely does run Rattlecore, and it kind of has multiple win conditions in that way. Like without Polymorph, Rogue really can't deal with it, like you said. But
and he hit the Edwin.
Wow. And the Edwin is 0 mana.
Back to 3 for
or
14.
Back to 3 here, but still getting the Miscreant down. Wow. Justin does have an answer with the Bear off here, but still forcing your opponent to have that hard removal is really important.
Just always feels bad.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I'm gonna go all in. Yeah, I hit the Edwin. I'm doing great. Yep. Oh my opponent had it.
Oh, interesting. Justin gonna go ahead and use the cutting class, so it seems like he's just gonna want to bear off and trade this minion here, which makes sense. I mean, he doesn't need to combo with Skipper or with Broom when he can just trade off his 2/1. He's fine. I think just maybe killing this 3/1 off or just holding.
I was thinking maybe we at least killed the Miscreant, but he's already seen one Shadow Step, so probably feels fine just leaving it up. Hey, another one.
Okay, yep, just riding the value train already.
Head crack.
Yeah, Miscreant. Head crack, nice pickup here, and Titanic Lackey is going to be able to protect the Whirl Kick from at least dying to the weapon. Of course, we can see Justin does have ways to deal with it with Skipper combos. But a solid
plethora of answers in hand to be able to deal with it however he wants. Shield Slam, Skipper combo, whatever he chooses.
Really does have a wealth of options. We'll see. Going for the shield block is
Go
interesting.
for the minefield high roll. You never miss the roll
And
kick.
well, he
Oh, wait,
can.
oh, you
Yeah,
just
I mean,
punch
he
it and
can
it's
guarantee
clear.
it
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
See, like I said, you never miss it.
You never do. Yeah. Interesting. A lot of options there. Justin choosing to draw in his deck for one instead. But Skipper is a very valuable card. With ETC combos, with just maybe good Armor Smith combos later. So he's able to save on to that very important resource. Whereas Minefield, I think that's kind of just as good as it gets. Just like dealing with a couple minions, getting the full clear. It's a nice use of it.
Yeah. So what are we missing here from Just-in-Time side? A Pen Flinger and our second Bloodsworn. That's all he needs for full combo with 10 cards left in deck. Now only 9 cards left in deck.
I believe so, yes. He's getting really close there, and BlueJay has not really been able to get the pressure on. That Edwin being answered immediately really hurt him. And in hand, he does have some ways to deal damage. That head crack is not bad. Plague of Madness is some damage, but not a ton of ways to generate value.
Rolls another Armor Smith.
What?
Emotes him too, Just-in-Time, the memer.
Oh my god. What? One of the best possible 2 drops for him to roll. It's a card that he already runs in his deck. Wow.
I'll take it. I'll take a free Armor Smith. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Why not? I mean, Justin here, he could just kill off this 3/3 if he wants. Doesn't really have to do anything else here.
Alright, Jandis is away for BlueJay. Try to get back into this game. How this goes. Okay, average and below average.
Yeah. I
Not
mean,
too bad.
it's not horrible. It feels really bad using Eviscerate on a minion in this matchup, but BlueJay's kind of forced to deal with the Armor Smith.
You can't let him untap and go to his turn with another Armor Smith and possibly have the Risky Skipper, which he should assume that there's a Risky Skipper already in hand with only 9 cards left in his deck. So.
At this point, I mean, we saw Ankar earlier. I think it's guaranteed at this point that Justin would have at least one. He might have drawn both of those off Skipper. I'm not sure.
I believe he has both. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
And Jandis' worst enemy, Risky Skipper.
Yep, just kind of its natural counter. And this is interesting because Justin, I'm not even sure, does he want to battle rage here and risk burning a card?
No, the Shield Slam puts him
Oh
down
no,
to
he can
6.
just play the Armor Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's fine.
So this is full combo now. Yep. Justin now has full combo in hand for whenever BlueJay puts out enough. I mean, he could possibly just put out 2 ETCs next turn and just attack with these minions and possibly do it. Well, I guess the Risky Skipper kills all Quartermaster, so never mind.
Yeah.
Risky Skipper's always an annoying card to try to figure out when you're going for an ETC combo. You're like, all right, how many minions die when I play a minion to this Risky Skipper?
Yeah. And meanwhile, BlueJay, his hand is almost entirely generated cards, and he's just fighting to figure out, okay, how can I just deal with my opponent's board?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, this is very interesting, though, because BlueJay doesn't have... He only has a 1/1 in hand. So Justin isn't really going to be able to go off on the ETC combo. And this Rattlegore is going to get immediately answered with Polymorph. So I mean, at this point, now Brushy, I think you've played ETC Warrior more than me. I actually don't have that many reps on it. What do you do in situations like these when your opponent just has no cards in hand and you're just at the end of your deck? You're just waiting?
Sometimes I try to just throw down a couple minions if I have some spare minions in hand and then just try to like do a mini ETC combo where like all those minions just go face, so they like pseudo do the same thing. But, like, instead of rushing into things, you try to stick a few minions so they just go straight to face. So they do some extra little chip damage. But that line's kind of risky because if those minions get cleared, then you lose out on some of your combo as well. But I mean, he really doesn't have extra minions to throw out, so he can't even go for that play. Kind of just has to wait for BlueJay to establish the board. Oh, maybe he is gonna go for it. Just throw out a bunch of minions here and hope they stick.
Oh wow, okay.
I mean, it is against Rogue, so it makes sense that...
So, I mean, I guess Justin sees, like, if BlueJay just plays nothing, he's gonna die to fatigue in the long run.
Yeah.
His opponent has 9 cards left in his deck, so by doing this, he just goes all in. Does at least get 4 damage here, and is gonna swing for 1.
Yeah, BlueJay does have the answer to both these ETCs with the Poison, or Plague of Madness, and the Eviscerate.
Yep. And that destroys the Bulwark from Justin's side.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think Justin really cared about that Bulwark. just so happened to be there.
It protected him from some damage, yeah, but I mean, this is so interesting now. BlueJay has absolutely nothing in hand except for Headcrack. I think Justin's gonna get there, but depending on what BlueJay can top deck, if he can find a way to deal with some of these minions, he could just completely remove Justin's ability to deal damage.
Yeah, because he needs to find a way to deal
take
with
a lot
this
though.
Board right now, because
that's Miscreant could help. Miscreant could help.
Prep Miscreant. Let's see what we hit.
Ethereal Lackey could get.
Ooh, Kobold. Okay. Kobolds are free clear.
Do we want to go for Draconic Lackey here though?
They go Whelp enough. You have to punch
that's
a
not
2/2.
Gonna be...
yeah, that's not gonna be enough. Did you have to clear a minion?
Well,
with
if he draws into he did not draw into backstab.
Well, he's already played both backstabs. He's
oh,
out.
he did. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. What a crazy game there. Justin going up 2-0 now. That is not how I expected that matchup to go. But I mean, I will say props to Justin for recognizing that he couldn't just wait for his opponent to put minions on the board.
Yeah.
He just chose to go all in that turn, and it worked out for him.
And Justin did reverse of what I would normally. I would stick minions and then the ETC combo, but he's like, no, I'm just gonna throw this combo out here, and if it sticks, I win. If it doesn't, I'll probably still win because they have to answer these ETCs immediately.
Exactly. Wow. So game 3 now. BlueJay sticking with the Rogue. He's gonna find a way to get a win with it. At least this is what he thinks. He just has to get a win with this.
I don't know. I have.
And
okay, so I don't lie to you.
Sure.
I have 85 games on World Kick.
Okay.
I have a 40% win rate versus Shaman.
That's tough.
It is
I'm not gonna lie, that's
very tough matchup. Because you want to go wide early, and they're very fine with you going wide early because of Mogu, Flesh Shapers, and Sea Giants and stuff like that. And then if they evolve one of those, it's over as the World Kick Rogue. It's so hard to deal with multiple 10 drops so early.
So I'll say, looking at the stats here, it looks like, HS Replay, Diamond through Legend, it's actually at about 48% for the Rogue, so not quite as bad. Of course, that's going to include a lot of different variants, but I would say the Rogue is unfavored, but it is winnable.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
If JustinTime just doesn't hit the Bogspine Knuckles, he's pretty happy, or BlueJay's pretty happy with that, so...
That's true. I'll also say that it looks like BlueJay has a pretty strong opener here. He has Edwin with Coin, Prep, and Shadow Step.
Yeah, Swindle off the top, and you can just go all in on this Edwin.
Yeah. I mean, I think even if he doesn't hit a spell, he wants to go all in on Edwin anyways. But yes, hitting something like Swindle, or you know, maybe even just like Eviscerate. Yeah, I mean, just get some value out of your prep, and you're just off to the races. The second shadow step.
Oh, we're going.
Oh
It's time.
my
It's
god.
time to go.
Okay. So hold on here. BlueJay, I think I mean you're shadow stepping the
Okay.
Pharaoh cat here, right? Or wait, are you shadow stepping the Edwin ever and getting Whirl Kick value? Okay, I guess he's doing neither of those things. So,
Valued clearing the board over the generation of the.
Oh, I guess there's no. Never mind. There was no play to Whirl Kick and Edwin because it's always going to be 3 mana the first time you play it. So never mind. So this I think was the best play.
And this is how this rogue wins sometimes.
Yeah.
But sometimes you get revolved.
Yeah. I might have liked to see shadow stepping the Pharaoh cat instead, just because like having a like the Berserker with full health is nice, but having like multiple reborn minions in hand might be better in the long run.
It might be,
but no matter what,
I like the play from BlueJay for the clear over the over getting the extra value because like what if just in time went Mogu revolve here, and then you just you just instant lose the game then. So this was the safest line to ensure that like I'm gonna stick this Edwin, and if he revolves me, that's fine. At least he won't get a 9-drop out of the or something like that.
That makes sense. Yeah. No, that does make a lot of sense. But either way, if you're gonna have a huge Edwin,
another taunt.
You're gonna have the randomly generated taunts just doing so much work tonight. BlueJay doesn't have a way to remove it either. He has to hit in with the Edwin. Wow.
This guy's toast.
Oh man. I mean, he's still BlueJay's still very far ahead. The Edwin still there is no immediate answer, but oh my god.
And there goes the Edwin.
There it is.
See
That's
ya.
the answer he was looking for.
Curious if maybe he doesn't. Clear. Can't leave it up.
Yeah. So leaving Whirl Kick up feels bad, but otherwise you take 14 to the face. So
All-around Crusader is not a bad minion to hit, and
that
is
is nice
okay because it's a little taunt.
Yeah, no, Crusader is definitely one of the better options to get off of Jandis, just because you don't get punished that much for it only having 1 health.
There's the
Justin here. Yeah, he can get a free Mogu, but still no weapon. Still no cage match.
No revolve, or he's even running revolve. I know some lists don't play it. Nothing to change these poor statted minions into better statted minions, and there's that potion.
That is one of the highest value potion of illusions I've ever seen.
You gotta play the fortune teller. It's a huge fortune teller. Come on.
This guy's toast.
With the fortune teller, he has 1 spell in hand, right?
Oh, it's for each spell. Oh,
it's each spell.
Okay. I forgot. I thought for some reason it was for each card. I was like, man, that's like a 9/9 right there. Like, come on.
That would be insane. But I mean, no matter what, I mean, he's got a 1 mana Jandis next turn if he wants.
Yeah.
I don't really see what Justin can do at this point.
He's just gonna call it.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm good, guys. I drew bad. I'll see you in the next game.
Just no weapon, but really just like that. The early Edwin, even though it never got to attack face that game. It never actually connected with face, but Justin just had to use all of his resources every time. So by the time the Edwin was dealt with, BlueJay could just develop Jandis, develop all these other minions, and it was an easy win.
Yeah, his hand lined up well hitting that Jandis after the Edwin was cleared, because there was a chance that maybe he just hit like a prep or something and just fizzled out after his Edwin got answered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But now we'll see the Demon Hunter from BlueJay. I guess he's okay with this matchup. It looks like he's actually Soul, not that full combo Lifesteal Demon Hunter.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's something we talked about this before the match, and I mean, I personally felt pretty confident it would be the lifesteal just because that is what people are running after the nerfs. But going with the Soul Demon Hunter still, Soul Demon Hunter has really fallen off completely. I don't think I've ran into it on ladder aside from like the first day after the nerfs. Your your experience might be different, but I mean it's got to still be a decent deck, right?
Yeah, I mean, it got hit a little bit, but it still does some obscenely strong things. Skull into like 40 burst still. Like it still has insane burst potential. And it's probably still the best into the Shaman. Even only at 4 mana, even with the Shard Statter Mystic being 4 mana, it's still a nice, easy board clear early. Even with the Blade Dance being at 3, the Soul Demon Hunter is still able to get their attack high enough to possibly deal with a lot of these high evolved from Shaman.
Now, okay, I'm just seeing this, the Storm Strike and the Sandstorm Elemental, those are natural cards in the Shaman list, right? I really have not seen those run in a Wolf Shaman.
I think I saw he had, a Serpent Shrine portal as well last game, so he's a little heavier on these tech cards. I've seen one or the other. I've either seen Storm Strike or the portal. Or the Farsight. Like I've never seen the mix of these cards, and this is the first time I'm actually seeing a Sandstorm Elemental in the list as well.
It's very interesting, and I mean we never saw the weapon. He has to be running it though because he does have Fork Pillager. But I'm wondering if this is like something slightly different. It's interesting. It looks like Storm Strike is going to be the best option here just to deal with this 2-3. Once again, though, Justin kind of has an awkward hand. Maybe he's looking at a good Faceless Corruptor turn heading up, but doesn't have a lot to do in terms of actually getting stuff on the board or in terms of, getting the weapon, which is so important to this deck success.
I accidentally muted myself there for a couple seconds. I was trying to figure out why you couldn't hear me. But I'm back now.
Okay.
It was like during the awkward silence, and I was like, oh, I guess he just ignored me. And then I looked over at OBS and I was like, oh, I'm just muted. A low roll on this portal, though.
Not super great. Justin maybe wants to go for the Sandstorm here just to take out the 1/1.
Yeah.
Kind of the only board presence he can really muster at this point. And BlueJay going for the Mystic here, I'm wondering if there wasn't any consideration to Relentless Pursuit just to get Bladed Lady procced. Although I suppose actually, yeah, he does it the next turn anyways.
Coin, Bladed Lady.
Right. So yeah, it's just getting Bladed Lady to cost 1 is I think so strong, but
we're not gonna skull. We're just gonna.
I mean this is a very strong tempo play, but I might have just gone for the skull there instead. It's just so good to get Outcasted Skull on 6, but
well, I think BlueJay thinks he can close this game out next turn.
Yeah.
With Relentless Pursuit and King Sunfury in hand, I think BlueJay's like, all right, I roll me this turn or die.
No, that's a good point. And yeah, looking at the Kane, the Relentless Pursuit, and I didn't realize Justin was already down to such a low health total, so I actually do like that a lot from BlueJay. And Justin's going to be able to clear up one of these minions, but can't full clear, so we'll see what BlueJay does. He's, I believe, 2 damage off.
Oh, yeah. Little short.
Yeah.
But we can reset this up. Like, Lapidary goes into the taunt, player other Lapidary, push 6, puts him to 8, and we have 8 first next turn.
Yeah. This, I think this is a really good hit from Justin, hitting the 4/1 into the Lapidary, because it actually does make it really awkward for BlueJay now. If he just hero powers into the 4/1, he can't really Lapidary and get that damage, or Relentless Pursuit. So we do see that play you were talking about, just trading with the 5-1 and then hitting face for 6.
Yeah, I like this because it allows you to play it allows you to almost guarantee this 8 damage next turn with this cane. Even if Justin would go for some crazy high roll taunt shenanigans, but just doesn't have it. This is going to close this game out, and we're going to go on to a game 5 as long as BlueJay sees it, and I'm 100% sure he will. Yep.
Yes, yep, immediate throwing down the cane, and wow, this Shaman list, you know, there are a couple cards, you know, tech cards like the Sandstorm Elemental, the Storm Strike with the Serpent Shrine that are a little bit weird, but still, I can't imagine this deck is that much different than a standard list, and this is just, you don't often see Evolve Shaman draw this badly 2 games in a row.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen 0 revolves, which I assume there's none based on the amount of other spells and tech cards I've seen out of Justin. But we've seen 0 Cage Match Custodians. We've seen 0 Boxmine Knuckles. So, yeah. Justin's hoping to hit one of them this game, but...
I guess we'll see. Yeah, right now, I mean, I think you throw all of these back. You really need those cards that you were talking about.
Oh, there it is! We finally see one!
Yeah, we found the weapon. Okay, let's... Alright, Justin, finding the weapon, finding the Dread Corsair and the Pitmaster already looks to be in a much better position. Over on BlueJay's side, it looks like this is a pure Paladin.
Yeah, the Consecration in the Goody 2 Shields is the tippers towards that, saying like, yeah, I'm not any kind of broom, Penflinger shenanigans.
Yeah. Now, I would think that the Shaman is favored here. Looking at the stats, the Evolved Shaman is actually only about 49% against the Pure Paladin. So technically, according to HS Replay,
so
a
50,
1 percentage point underdog. Yeah.
That's how I read that stat. This is a 50-50 matchup.
Yeah.
Oh, and the other Boxmine Knuckles, the deck's like, hey man, sorry for the first 2 games. I know you didn't see me. I know you were quite upset,
give them all to you at once.
Yeah. But here you go, bud.
Yeah.
I got you covered this time.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just, I'm thinking about that. I guess Pure Paladin often can get off to some pretty strong starts if it gets, some buffs on some of these early minions, and Evolved Shaman struggles to deal with it. On the flip side, though, if Evolved Shaman does get the weapon down and does get some of these, strong evolved boards, the Pure Paladin struggles to come back on the board. It really only has Librum of Justice and Consecration. So this point in the game is really just a fight to see who can win the board, I think.
Yeah, and it's going to be Justin's first evolve of this match.
The Custodian, too.
Yeah.
He's just getting everything all at once.
I mean, I'm kind of upset seeing that Custodian now. Like, listen,
yeah,
man, I already drew
it's
both my Knuckles. Get out of here.
It's useless at this point.
Oh, that's it. I hate hitting dormant minions on your evolves. Oh, man. Don't get to have that immediate value next turn, and Hand of Vidal's going to be able to clear up this 3-5 as well. But luckily for Justin, he does have the Pitmaster corrupted. So he will be able
this
to...
is gonna... It'll get him some board presence, but BlueJay picking up the Murger, or the McGurgle, really nice to get... Oh, wow. She was gonna say
here we go.
Getting some board presence, but I mean, oh man, just gonna get 6 4-drops on the board.
Yep, hit the 1-3. I like it, just for board presence.
Let's see it. Okay, these are good overall.
Good, yeah.
Some good rolls.
I mean,
Dark
I love
Moon
the Dark Moon
statue,
yeah.
Actually pretty nice with everything he has on board, and I mean the fantastic Firebird. This is just something that demands having to be dealt with.
Yeah, and the worst part for BlueJay is he can't answer the Firebird and the statue. So he's got to pick one or the other.
If you... yeah.
So Justin has 17 on board, right? 6, 9, 11, 15, 17. 17, 21 that can go face. Off by
Yeah.
6 this turn. Okay, electing to
Yeah, I mean, do you
trade
just
with the first instead of the Rushman. I guess we're gonna
Sure.
trade off this board.
I mean, I'm wondering if you just like try to swing phase. I guess you don't, just because you know the Paladin can't come back on the board that well. So if you just full clear, or maybe just leave the 4/7 alive, then you're in a really good spot.
I think the only problem is like with all these trades, you're making your board super weak to another consecration, and that would just blow you out of the game. But I think with these trades now, you play the box bind, kill the 4/4.
Yeah, I like this.
Play the Horde
Go for
Pillager.
Pillager. Why not? Get another 5-drop.
Don't hero power because you're gonna roll Doomsayer.
Yeah.
Oh, 4 mana 8/8.
Nozdormu the Timeless. Wow.
All right. We have 5/7 taunt. Does it do enough?
Let's see. I'll have to count. I don't think this is lethal yet. It's close.
26 through the top. So he's 1 off. You know, I like setting my opponents to 1.
Seems pretty good to me.
As long as we do not roll a Doomsayer off our totem.
Yeah.
Do we have any chances? We have some 3-drops or 1 3-drop. Oh, he's just gonna.
Okay. No. Well, I mean, there was the chance of that Doomsayer, as you said, but I mean, the other Bog Spine would have just done it anyways. So, yeah, that is going to be the series then. Justin taking it over BlueJay, 3-2.
Justin immediately hits me up as soon as he wins. Interview? almost half tempted to be like, nah, man, you're too excited for it. Get out of here. Get him in here if you got any words to say why try to do this background work shenanigans.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what Justin has to say, but I mean, we really just saw the night and day of the Evolved Shaman deck. If it doesn't hit the weapon, if it doesn't hit Custodian, I mean, in those Rogue and Demon Hunter games, it lost very quickly. Just never got on the board. Just really fell behind from the start. Never got anything going and lost. And then the exact flip side of that was the game where you have your weapon on 5, and then you're able to play the Desert Hare and
Hitmaster on turn 6.
Yeah, 2, and just get so much value. And I mean, it really is. I hate that deck is so good because like overall it is strong, but it's just so dependent on drawing those very specific cards.
Yeah, I mean, Justin's here himself, and he can let us know about how it feels not to draw any weapons or custodians in 2 straight games. Justin, welcome to the booth, and congrats on your win there, 3-2 over BlueJay. How you feeling, man?
Thanks. Bit of relief. Started off so well, and then I got polymorphed, and I didn't draw weapons 2 games. So, but
I mean, you
still managed not to throw that second game.
Yeah.
I should have played around polymorph. I was so far ahead. There's no need to battle rage for so many cards to lose in fatigue. But fortunately for me, he was unable to find whatever small removal he needed to remove that board. But,
yeah. I mean, I think you had the right line, right? Because like Rogue has a tough time dealing with a wide board like that. So like even just like that small chip damage over a couple turns is probably going to get you there. Because I think you already saw both prize plunderers. Like the abysses were gone. Like there was like, that last abyss was like on that turn and had to answer an ETC. So like it's like sticking that board. There's like I have a good chance of just being able to chip damage in. But you're probably right not to draw those. Or you shouldn't have drawn those like 6 additional cards there on that like final 2 turns.
Yeah.
Like...
Nah, I even was thinking about right after I hit the battle rage of like, hey, what if this is polymorph or devolving? Okay, devolving I probably still win anyways, though he does have that course in the deck I haven't seen yet. Ooh, polymorph might wreck me if he has removals for my board. Oops. If he had like whatever 3 or 4 cards in hand, that he used a world kick, I was on high health total, I just didn't need to do it. But
Yeah,
whatever.
maybe feeling a little too comfortable in your own shoes there. Just like, yeah, I got this. Like, maybe
Yeah, the
I
list I
don't.
play on
Like,
ladder normally has like Galakron and Zeph, so it's not much of a to like cheese priests and other mirror techs for Silas and stuff.
Yeah.
So I wasn't. I was kind of all piloting off that. Oh, I have some extra win condition here. That it doesn't matter how many cards I draw, but nope. But,
Yeah, man. I mean, how did you feel in those two back-to-back shaman games? Where you just like, wow, I guess I don't run weapons or cage match custodians in this.
yeah, I mean that's pretty much that. It's shaman. I don't know. The deck is good right now because you win the coin flip, the bias coin flip of drawing it more than half the time, and
Well, I mean,
sometimes you don't.
you
I don't
showed
know.
us
I don't like the
33.
deck.
I see a 33% chance of drawing it after those matches there. So I don't know what this half the time is.
The sample
So,
size doesn't lie.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I was looking at the spread this week for what I should ban of his, and I'm like, oh well, like it's probably Rogue or Shaman. Let me just ban Shaman. I don't want to face that deck. Hopefully, he bans mine.
But the thing is, Justin, you drew those bog spine knuckles just in time.
Always just.
Always just in time. I had to do it. I had to make it.
I had to get that one in.
Yep.
Yeah, Justin, we were talking about the shaman deck, and I think it was interesting to see the sandstorm elemental and the I'm forgetting the name of the card, the 3-mana spell that isn't
Stormstrike?
Serpent's Reach Portal. Yeah, Stormstrike. So just like all of those in one deck, sometimes you maybe see like just Portal or just Stormstrike, but what were you thinking with kind of like having all of those in as tech cards?
I copied the Vicious Syndicate list for Corruptor Shaman, and then
Oh,
had
that's
Harrison Jones in it. And I didn't want to play Harrison Jones because I wasn't facing Shaman or Warrior, so I took out Harrison Jones, and then I put in Sandstorm Elemental because I was scrolling through my collection. It looked cute.
okay. It just seemed like it would be good.
Yeah, I mean,
I can respect that.
he had DH, and Molstar just played the 1 seed for their team Gambler, who brought aggro DH. So Sandstorm Elemental can do well in that matchup.
Sure.
And or I guessed. It's not like I've ever seen it played.
Yeah.
It didn't cost me the game because
Okay.
the good part about Shaman is the last 5 cards of your deck don't matter because all you have to do is draw your bug spine and then
That's true.
everything works.
It really doesn't matter
Yeah.
what order you draw things in as long as you hit the bog spine knuckles. So who
Yeah,
cares
yeah.
what
I
those
remember
random
like
tech
first
cards
week
are?
when people are first week of the expansion when people were winning with Evolve Shaman, you see like these crazy different lists. They're almost completely different decks at that point. Like because that was weekend we had Tespa playoffs, so I was trying to grind the game hard to like refine stuff, and like you see people hitting high legend with decks that are like 10 cards from different from each other. Like holy crap, this deck has a crazy high ceiling for when it's refined, or at least that was my thoughts at the time.
Yeah.
Some more time has passed now. Some other things have got nerfed. It really is good now, but still no one agrees on the list. those last few cards don't matter as long as you have bugs fine.
Yeah, it's like as long as you have 20 certain cards, you're fine. Like who cares what the last like 10 are? Oh, I hit my knuckles? Alright, sweet.
Yep.
I did not even realize that was the that was just like the VS list, but I do think it's telling that like this is it's one of the best decks in the game, if not the best deck in the game. But there's the corruptor list, and then there's the other one too. There's like two but like very strong.
I think the more common
list at
one
the moment.
played is the other one, is the coaster list that John Bray
The
got
coaster.
rank 1 with
Yeah.
brooms and sea giants and stuff like that. But
I
That one
mean,
just has
that's
a higher
John Bray
high
has
roll.
been John Bray has been playing Evolve Shaman before it was cool, so I kind of tend to trust him more on the
What?
thing.
Hasn't
But
Evolve
both
Shaman
of those are
always been
definitely
cool? Every time there's some sort of Evolve card, people are like, oh, time to play Shaman!
good. before it was good, maybe. Yeah.
yeah,
But-
Doom in the Tomb. That was a meta.
Yeah. Oh, don't remind me.
Endless Evolve Shaman Mirrors. I had the frog though. I hate the Shaman class since Frog rotated. That was great of all time.
Oh, I love the
Just
frog.
build all
I'm
these
scared of
janky
the frog.
decks
Yeah.
that just work because you have 3 mana, draw 3 cards, and you can cheese your opponent that way. I mean, I'm sure it's been power crept now. If they reintroduced it, probably wouldn't even be that good. But at the time, it just felt so nutty.
I was so nuts with that card that like reduced your next spell by like 3, so you reset your chain.
Oh
Go
yeah,
back, go
yeah.
back to like a
Haunting
0 mana
Vision.
card, draw a 1 card, draw 2, 3, like just constantly reset. Just draw into
Yeah,
your
yeah.
entire deck
Haunting
like it was
Vision.
nothing. Yeah, haunting vision. Right, yeah, yeah. But yeah, with that win, your team now goes up 8-4 over Stubbs of Prey. With Animated Button, Jimbo, and Diamond still left to play. Now those are still some
Automated,
pretty. Huh?
automated, but yeah,
What did I say?
animated. Very similar.
I thought I said automated.
Oh, maybe I misheard.
I don't know.
Automated broom.
But
That'd be
yeah,
a
there
good
we
name
go.
for a card.
Yeah, it would be. But
Mm.
those are still some tough matchups there in the 3 through 5 seeds for Stubbs of Prey. Like Stubbs of Prey is always a good team. So the week's not over, or these 2 weeks aren't over, I should say.
Yeah,
So,
the week,
the,
quote unquote.
the week, quote unquote, secretly 2 weeks.
Yeah, I have confidence in my teammates. They're good TESPA players and are seeming
Yeah.
somewhat motivated.
Well, you got 4 good players, and then this captain of yours. I just
Diamond's washed. He's the only one who didn't make playoffs this semester in TESPA on her team. That's because he didn't have a team. But
That's because he didn't play on it. He's washed, man. He's washed.
I'm sure he'll correct that next semester because I think he's found a team again. But,
I mean, that's all that matters, right? You got to find a team and go ham on it, right? But I think Markshire, you have anything else for Justin Time before we wrap it up here for the evening?
always just in time.
Always, Justin.
Always just in
Always.
time. No, that's for me. Just yeah, great matches. Was good. I mean, I guess it's pretty unlikely that we would have seen the Shaman draw that badly 3 games in a row. So it was good to see the comeback from the reverse sweep. So
I
yeah.
don't know. I honestly want to hate it. I hate Shaman so much right now. If I just got swept with never seeing a bog spawn, that'd be a sweet form of justice in my head. I'll never bring the deck again.
I feel the same way, man. I feel the same way. It's that, or like you bring it and your opponent just has like a full sticky finger lineup. You're like, I just don't want to play this deck anymore. Come on.
I mean, you can ask Ron Mexico from last Sunday Night Showdown where Lotus Knight had like 8 sticky fingers across his entire
8
lineup.
sticky finger
And just
lineup.
kept stealing Ron's stuff, and Ron was like, yeah, I'm having fun, I guess. Good time.
Yeah. Monsanto and ETC releasing the bastard of the flat user decks on the universe.
Yeah.
What would happen if the genie never left the bottle? How many more people would have more hair from not molding at getting their weapons constantly stolen?
At least 7.
But yeah. No.
But
thank you guys for putting on the production.
yeah, man, thanks for hitting us up in the most interesting way I've gotten hit up in a while for a match.
Shout out to all my fans in the audience, and the 47.3% of people who picked me for their legacy team will now be rewarded with a 2-0 start. The real league that people care about.
Yeah, not League of Legends. Definitely not that one. But,
I really considered like not picking myself, so if the season wasn't going well, we weren't going to make playoffs. Just sandbagging the last few weeks, but no, I ended up going for the confidence pick anyway.
Like, take this, you fantasy jerks! Like, you should have picked me.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for stopping by, Justin. Congrats on the win once again, and good luck to your team the rest of this extended week and the rest of the season, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, Markshire, that's gonna do it for us tonight, man. Only the 2 matches, but man, were they 2 exciting matches there. I mean, you gotta witness into the wild shenanigans, and and then we gotta cast some great standard here at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think both of these were, the eventual winner going up 2-0, then losing 2 straight,
Yep.
and then coming back rewarding
Winning game 5.
avoiding the reverse sweep, which is that's what we want to see from these stream matches. Both going to game 5, got some good storylines going throughout the match. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So if no other final words from you, Markshire, I'm gonna send off THL and these beautiful people to have a wonderful rest of their night. Yeah, anything else from you? Any final words? Any final like Thank goodness no Donde is here tonight. You know, it was a great, great stream without Donde.
It was, yeah, it was a lot of fun. But no, I'm sure Donde is enjoying having a relaxing evening with his family. So yeah, thanks for watching THL, and I hope the rest of y'all are enjoying the holidays and can continue to have a relaxing evening after a couple exciting matches.
Yeah. You stay safe out there, THL, and have fun this New Year's. Don't hold any fireworks. Make sure you throw those. Don't hold them in your hand. All right. We'll see y'all tomorrow. I believe Sunday Night Showdown is hosting the first BGs of THL. So that should be exciting.
Yes.
Playoffs are here, and Sunday Night Showdown is going to bring the first BG pool of the season. So gonna be exciting stuff. I believe that starts at still 9 p.m. tomorrow.
I believe that is correct, but
Come on, board member. What are you doing?
I know. Yeah.
Yes, 9 p.m. So tune in 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow for me, Saku, and Steffi. Steffi will be joining us in the casting booth tomorrow for that BG's lobby. So, all right. That'd be it for us, THL. You all have a wonderful night. Y'all stay beautiful. And if you want to be on any kind of night, any kind of stream, please hit up anyone named Saku, Donde, Lotus Knight, board members, myself, or just ask your captain and they'll find you a person to talk to get you on stream. But y'all have a great one. Stay safe. Bye.
All right, are we out?
1 second.